Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Gary Holt from Exodus and formerly from Slayer, and you're listening to The Razor's Edge.
Welcome back to The Razor's Edge. My name is Chris, and I'm joined by Tacey from Cobra The Impaler, ahead of the release of their epic new album, Karma Collision, which drops on May 31st. So thanks so much for joining me, dude. How are
Hey
you
man.
doing?
Yeah, thanks for having me. Really good. Yeah.
Great. Welcome to The Razor's Edge. So, as I said, your new album drops on May 31st, which is only a couple days from recording this. So it might well be out already when you're watching this, who knows? But I'm sure you're pumped to finally get it out there. How long have you been working on it?
Yeah, quite a while actually. We had like a really intense festival summer, and after the summer in September, we start actually working on the album. I had like a lot of ideas and riffs ready, but then yeah, started crafting the songs together sometime September, and then worked until the end of February full time to make this album. It's always yeah, a lot of work to make an album like this. It's really layered. So yeah, spent quite some time on it.
Yes, it's been a long time coming. So, are you pumped to finally get people to be able to listen to it?
Yeah, absolutely. Because when you're like in the studio and writing stuff, you're always like really looking forward to receive like reactions of people on how they are receiving the album. So yeah.
Great, great. I mean, you mentioned the festival circuit last year, and people who've watched my interviews both on here and on Crushing Sounds will know I'll take any opportunity to bring up Bloodstock because I love it. So, how was Bloodstock for you guys? Because I saw your name on there.
Absolutely amazing. It was actually our first UK show, so that's like yeah, perfect. I would say it was an honor for us to play that festival, especially with the first album. And yeah, we had like an amazing time. We had like had a good response from the crowd, and yeah, it was an absolutely amazing festival.
Yeah, great. The whole set is up on YouTube, and I do urge people to go check it out because it's a great set. Quite fortuitous that you guys playing. I think it was like the single busiest day Bloodstock has ever had, or something, or like in years. Certainly felt like it. Did you guys see a lot of attention after that show in particular?
Yeah, it was like yeah, a great crowd, and we stayed there to watch Megadeth because Dirk Verbeuren, the drummer, is a
Of
friend
course.
of mine, and so it was nice seeing them again, especially in the UK. So it was like a really nice atmosphere. So yeah, we had an amazing time.
Yeah, you can only ever have an amazing time at Bloodstock. It's amazing.
Sure
So,
thing.
yeah. So obvious question. I've got to get this out of the way. Where did the name Cobra the Impaler come from?
It's yeah, it's a good question. I was it was the actually the only name that I considered to be the name for this band. It was not that I had like a lot of options because it was one of the first name that popped into my mind, and it was like yeah, that kind of sounds perfect. So no need to look further. So and for me it was I was looking something like in the vein of like some evil character like or something like Conan the Barbarian, you know, that kind of vibe. So it's yeah, and people seem to dig it. We always get really good response on the name.
Yeah, great. So there's no like hidden meaning or anything. It's just all about the vibe kind of thing.
Yeah, more or less. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. So how did Cobra the Impaler come to be as a unit? How did you form?
It kind of started off more as a project. It was something that I really wanted to do, playing in different bands before, and also some extreme bands that were like really in within a genre, death metal bands and stuff like that. And I was like kind of fed up with being limited by the limitations of a genre. So I was like, yeah, I want to yeah, kind of do more stuff that is like heavy guitar riff based music, but also have more melodic vocals, more of a melodic vocal approach. Bands like I really like bands like Alice in Chains, Tool, Soundgarden, the more 90s bands, because I think if you have clean singing, but also more extreme singing, it's like yeah, you have a broader range of what you can do with music. Like the range of emotions is wider, so that's why I was like, yeah, I shouldn't be limited by the boundaries of a genre.
Yeah, fair enough. Because I think all you guys have come from different bands before. Kind of like the genres of all your respective bands is kind of all over the place. So when
True.
you all got together make this music, did it feel like a big melting pot of lots of different ideas and specialties and all that kind of thing?
In a way, the background, yes, but the vision of this was quite clear. Where we need to where we were heading was quite clear, because it's I don't consider this band like a melting pot of different genres. It's quite solid, but the range of influences is quite wide. So but it's true that all of us are have different backgrounds in music, which I think is it's absolutely amazing, because again, you're not limited by a genre. Or when you play with people that are like all enjoying the same music, it's yeah, it kind of puts you in a certain direction, and we don't have that limitation. And that's absolutely great, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's kind of like one of those bands where I know my band is the case of this as well. But if you asked each of us who our influences were, we'd all give you wildly different answers. And
Yeah,
I think that's kind of the best way to do it, really, from a creative standpoint.
yeah, I absolutely agree. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Because so the bands that you guys have come from, Aborted, Megadeth, that kind of thing. Um, do you like using sort of your pedigree to give this band that selling point, or would you rather sell this music on its own merit?
I would say the music, because that's the main thing. That's why we were doing this, is to present our music to the people. We're not selling our resume to people. This is not like a LinkedIn thing or something. So it's all
Yeah.
about the music. So I'd rather have people checking out the music than checking out our resumes.
Yes, it's not like a super group or anything like that.
Exactly. No, no, not at all. Yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with super groups, but
No, 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 no. I agree.
Cool. So, is there a key songwriter for the group, or is it a much more collaborative affair?
Yeah, that actually would be me. I wrote everything for the music for the first album, and for the second album as well, because I also want to keep it like quite solid, you know, and avoid everything being a melting pot of all different stuff and ideas thrown together. But it's really nice, because I write the songs on guitar, making demos, and then I send it over to our singers who have different backgrounds in music. And the stuff that they send back to me, sometimes it's I'm really, yeah, surprised by the way they interpret the songs. And sometimes I get feedback, like if I send like a really heavy riff based song, they're like, oh, there's no room for the vocals. What the hell do you want us to do with this? And I'm like, yeah, that's your problem. I mean, solve it. And they kind of always do, and I pull it off, and it's always, yeah, that's really fun way of working for me as well.
Yeah, yeah, no worries. I mean, come on, it's like vocals don't have to carry any gear, so they can worry about their part of the songwriting. Let them worry
No,
about that.
exactly. We always obviously go back and forth with ideas when I write songs, and they've come up with vocal lines. Then I'm also like, oh yeah, maybe this guitar part is too dominant, and pushing away the vocals. We need to make room for vocals, and then we go back and forth, and sculpt the yeah, finish the song, yeah, because yeah, the vocals are obviously really important in this band. So in my opinion, even more important than all the guitar stuff. But it's like a nice combination of both.
Sure, yeah, it is a very the vocals especially are, as you say, extremely melodic, and they've got a lot of grit to them as well. When I heard your debut album for the first time ahead of last year's Bloodstock, I know I'm not the first person to mention this. The first band I thought of was Mastodon.
Mhm.
Not in a copying kind of way. It's more like you captured Mastodon's sort of colossal heaviness, heavy epicness that they put into metal.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Was
yeah.
Mastodon part of your influence, or was that just a name that
Yeah,
has come up?
yeah. Obviously, I even did some shows with them when I played on Aborted years back, and they were like a brand new band, and I was like kind of impressed with yeah, with them not giving a shit about, oh yeah, we are going to play a Thin Lizzy cover in our set, and that's inspiring to me. And also the roots of Mastodon are basically bands that I also really enjoy, and that's like again broad range. It's going from Thin Lizzy to Aerosmith to Deep Purple, Rainbow, and then all the eight Slayer, Judas Priest, Megadeth, Metallica. Moving on to the 90s, I was in Chains, Soundgarden, and then yeah. So there's many influences, and that's what I like about Mastodon. Them not being limited by oh yeah, you can't label their bands as being a metal band per se, or a death metal band or whatever, and that's what I enjoy in music.
Yeah, great. Yeah, I mean, if you look across their whole catalog, like right from the first releases all the way through to now, it's just they've changed so much over
Oh yeah.
all those albums. Is that a trajectory you would want for your band?
Not sure. That's hard to predict. We don't.
Hmm.
It's. I think we will go album by album and just like keep on moving ahead, in the way that we feel it or see it at the moments that we're writing stuff. So there's no bigger scheme, or not a big plan for like a long-term plan of like 9 albums, and we're moving in certain directions. So that's something that I always kind of follow my gut feeling on music, because it has to come from the gut, it has to come from the heart, and if it's coming from the mind, people probably won't buy it because it's not genuine. So I prefer moving on and following my gut feeling on stuff.
Yeah, fantastic. So if people haven't checked you out yet but want to get a taste of the new album, a couple songs are out for it already. Season of Savage being the most recent. That song is awesome, by the way. It sounds absolutely huge.
Cheers, man.
Can you tell me a bit about that one? How did that one come to be?
Well, it's quite a journey, that song. I think there's a lot of stuff in there. It's absolutely, one of my favorite songs on the album. There's a lot of influences. Like, also, I really personally, I really enjoyed the outro of the song, which has a certain and Justice for All vibe to it, with a lot of harmonized guitars, and it's nice to spark emotions with music. That's what I always try to do, especially with having nice, great singers next to me, because vocals do spark an emotion, but also the dynamics in the music. And it's a combination of, there's like heavy stuff, headbang riffs, but also like melodic stuff. So it has a it's I think it's actually a good song to represent what this band is about.
Yeah, I was literally about to ask if you felt it was a good representation of the album as a whole. My favorite, I loved My Inferno because I've heard the album. It
Okay,
sounds fucking huge. I love it. I think
thanks, man.
no worries, no worries. So when you approached Karma Collision, did you want? I might have already asked this, but did you want to build upon what you did in Colossal Gods, or did you want to mix things up a little bit?
I think we didn't really have a plan when it comes down to what is the new song versus the first album. It's more of a follow up. But I think we've grown as a band. Obviously, I think we grown on basically every level, like on writing vocal patterns, writing songs, the way everything is recorded and played. We like also quad tracked all the guitars, which was quite intense to do in recording, but to give it like a rich, full, thick sound, it was like, let's just do it and record like quad track every guitar part. So it's also the production. I think we went further on every level with this album, but we never had the intention to reinvent ourselves.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
Hmm.
Also because Colossal Gods was extremely well received. It had a lot of positive feedback when it came out. And I've interviewed a bunch of bands now, and one of the questions I like to ask the most is if you felt pressure going into your second release because the one before was so well received. I've had some bands say, yeah, we felt lots of pressure. I've had some bands say we don't care. But
Hmm.
would either or be the case for you guys?
I would be in the not caring camp, I would
Sure.
say, because it's just, you have to. I mean, it's music in a way. It's always gambling, but I think if you well, everything that you do, all the output is coming from the heart, like I said before, and you do it with a certain gut feeling, then you have to follow it and see where it gets you. You know, if people, this is the album that we had to make, and if people would not enjoy it, then that would be depressing in a way. But that's I think how the world works. So no, it's genuinely just we did what we needed to do. in our
Right.
opinion.
Yeah, of course. Do you think do you think then that it can be potentially risky to sort of I don't know, believe your own hype, so to speak, if that makes any sense?
Um, yeah, it doesn't really matter. I think it's working hard on music and be passionate about it. It's the main thing. And yeah, I'm quite even. It's nice to read reviews and to hear nice people saying nice stuff about your band and your music. But in the end, it's like, again, you have to make music and you have to be happy about it. So there's never, yeah,
Yeah,
you have
yeah.
just have to do what you need to do, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Cool. So we'll quickly wrap up, but with soon to be, I'm sure, two well received albums. What's next for Cobra the Impaler? What's the rest of 2024 look like?
Yeah, playing as much as possible. The album is coming out, yeah, next week, and then we're doing some summer festivals. We're not as busy as the last summer because we basically did all the big festivals last year. So and the album is coming out quite late in the year, like really close to the summer. So we're doing some festivals, but then fall will be quite busy, and then 2025 will be really busy. So we have like a lot of shows ahead, and we're really looking forward, because especially coming from like a long production time making this album, we're really looking forward to hit the stage again.
Yeah, great. And is it too early to ask if any new music is brewing in your head at this point?
Not for now. There's some riffs that I have ready, but that's like the focus is now on promoting this album as much as possible, and doing pre-production for the whole live thing, and then yeah, playing as much shows as possible, as in as many countries as possible, of course.
Okay, amazing. Cool. That's all I've got. So thank you so much for joining me today, dude. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, thanks for having me, and thanks for your interest in our band and your lovely words. So yeah,
No
thanks.
worries, dude. No worries. For everyone watching, I'll reiterate, Cobra the Impaler's new album, Karma Collision, is out May 31st. So either very soon or out now, depending on when they put this up. But either way, go check it out. It's an awesome new project. You won't regret it. Thanks again, dude, for joining me. Thank you all for watching. I've been Chris with The Razor's Edge, and we'll see you in the next one.
Thanks for listening. Make sure you keep up to date with all of our interviews by subscribing to our channel. For all the latest news, reviews, interviews, and more, head over to our website, www.therazorsedge.rocks.